course, you don't know me and you haven't heard my voice yet. This is the first time. Well, my name is Hussein Ali, and I'm your teacher of essay writing or writing, okay, or essay. This is the first time when I, teach you, and I teach this university. Okay. Um. Well, I hope you. I wish you if you had a nice vacation, okay, throughout the last months, and I hope you a very nice school or academic year, 2020 21. Well, guys, um, you know, last year I'm sure that you're familiar with the procedure of teaching, okay, which is virtually, happened. Virtually, I mean online, okay. So last year we study for 2 or 3 months. Then the pandemic started. Then we, stopped and changed changed the procedure. Okay, um, by resorting to the virtual or e-learning. Okay, I mean learning online. And by the same token, this year will also depend on e-learning. Okay, so the learning will be what virtually studied or taught. The procedure of our teaching, okay, I mean for me and to you, is that I, sent you a video, okay, or a PDF of a lecture, for example, of the first, second, third lecture, and of course you are going to read it deeply. Okay, then the next lecture, okay, I will check your understanding. Okay, I'll check your understanding, and you may ask me some question if you don't understand. And at the same time, we will go into a meet, okay, a Google Meet link, okay, to share some ideas online. I mean, discussions, debates on the subject. So this is the procedure of our teaching this year. Okay. Indeed, when writing an essay, you have to have a very good style of writing. Okay, that's to say, your writing should be stylistically Slovean, okay, correct, and grammatically Nahawian correct. Okay, so the sentences are well written or well structured. Okay, the paragraphs, as well as the paragraphs, should be well structured or written. Um, that's why I attended to sorry, I tended to start with the types of sentences. Okay, so we have four main types of sentences, which are, simple, compound, complex, and compound complex. And believe me, if you have control over these types of sentence, your writing style or your style of writing will be awesome. Believe me, and since your writing and your essay will be very, grammatically structured. Okay, so this is what I want to say about the general introduction of this year and today's lecture. Okay, and if you have any question, just write it in the comments on Google Classroom. Don't hesitate. You are free anytime to ask any question. So let's start with the types of sentence. And this I have told you that I start with the grammar, okay, just to make your writing better and better and better, okay, just to better your writing. So what is a sentence? We heard of sentence, but what is it? Okay, so sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought containing a subject and a predicate. Okay, when I say something, okay, I have to know that this has a meaning conveyed, expressed to the speaker, so that the speaker understands me. Okay? When I say it is raining, okay? This sentence contains what? A subject. It raining is raining, which is the predicate. Okay? So it what? It conveys certain functions. Question: do you go to the party tonight? Command: go out. Exclamation: what a nice day. Okay? And many other types of questions. It includes so this is the parts of the sentence. I'm sure that you may be confusing or being confused about such terms as superordinate, independent clause, or dependent or subordinate. We will come to them and I will explain them in detail. Don't worry about that. Okay? So a sentence includes a main clause and a secondary, a main clause and a secondary clause. Okay? And we will come later to explain what or what's meant by main clause and the secondary clause, independent and dependent. Okay, well, so this is the parts of the sentence: subject and the predicate. For example, Mary cleaned the room quickly. Okay, Mary is the subject, and what comes after the subject is what is the predicate. Okay, clean the room quickly, verb, object, and adverb. Adverb of manner, quickly. Okay, she is now a teacher at a famous college. Okay, she is the subject is now a teacher at a famous college. We have verb, adverb of time, object, okay, and place, adverb of place. And this the whole words belong to what? To predicate. Okay, so this is the part of the sentence. A clause. What is the difference between a clause and a sentence? A clause is larger than sentence. A sentence is larger than a clause. Okay, clause is a part of a sentence. It also contains a subject and a predicate. It may be either a complete sentence or a sentence-like instructions within another sentence. And again, the sentence has a complete thought, but a clause sometimes be a part of a sentence. Okay, for example, he is too tired. This is what a sentence, a complete sentence. But when I say because he has worked all the day, okay, I cannot say it alone unless it is attached to another clause. Okay, so the whole words here belong to what? To the sentence. This is one sentence, but what? It has two clauses. A complete clause, he's too tired. Okay, and incomplete clause that cannot be understood unless it is attached to this one. Okay, مثل ما قلت لكم توا, this is what يسمونها شنو؟ يسمونها independent, main, okay, superordinate clause. And this incomplete clause يسمونها secondary, dependent, okay, subordinate clause. Incomplete sentence. If it's said alone, I mean this clause, if it's said alone, cannot be understood unless it is attached to another sentence. Because he has all, because if I say just because he has worked all the day. Why? I have because. Why? Okay? So this is the difference between clause and a sentence. We'll come to the third term, which is phrase. Okay? Phrase. What is a phrase? A phrase is unlike the sentence or clause. A phrase is within the clause or the sentence. Okay? It doesn't have a subject and it doesn't have a predicate. Okay? And we have many types of phrase. We have adverbial phrase, adjectival phrase, noun phrase. Okay? I mean the adjectival phrase, for example, that comes after, I'm sure that he's a very nice the shirt. Sure is what is an adjective, etc. For example, so a phrase is a set of words that doesn't contain a subject and a predicate. Namely, in a sentence, one part with subject and predicate, and what comes um, after the predicate is always a phrase. Okay, so a phrase is within the predicate, sometimes at the end of predicate, because he has worked all the day. All the day is what? Is adverb of time. Okay, and hence it is adverbial phrase. Okay, clean the room quickly, quickly. Adverb. Okay, at a famous college. Adverb of phrase. Okay, adverb of place, and etc. Another example, a beautiful home. Okay, a beautiful article, adjective, noun. It is a phrase. Why? Because there is no subject, what, and predicate. There is no verb and a subject, and hence it is a phrase. Okay, adverbial phrase, adverb of place, home. John has been in the hospital for a long time. Okay, in the hospital, I don't have a subject, and I don't have a what? A verb. Okay, I have preposition, article, noun, preposition, adjective, noun. Okay, and hence it contains what? Adverbial phrase that contains adverb of place, which is hospital, and adverb of time, which is long time. Okay, so this is the difference between what? Between clause, between sentence, clause, and a phrase. Okay, I hope you understand this terminology, sorry. Okay, in order to move to the next part of today's lecture, which is the types of the sentences, I mean. Okay, so here is the difference between clause and not clause. Okay, and phrase. Okay, ecology is a science. We have subject, verb, and a complement. Okay, subject, verb, and complement, and hence it is a complete sentence that contains what? A complete clause. Okay, which is what? Which is independent. Independent means that it can stand alone. Okay, it has a complete thought to protect the environment. Okay, to protect the environment. Here I have what? I have a phrase. Why? I don't have a subject. I have two infinitive, a plus a noun. Okay, so to protect the environment, and hence it is what? It is a phrase. Okay, it is a phrase. Because pollution causes cancer. Okay, I have subject, pollution, phrase, causes. Okay, and this is a clause. What type? It is incomplete clause. Why? If I said it alone, because pollution it causes cancer. Sorry. Okay, it cannot be said alone unless it is attached to another sentence. For example, when I say because pollution causes cancer, okay, we have to be aware of it. And hence it becomes a complete sentence. After working all day, okay, I have what? It is not a clause, it is a phrase here. Okay, it is not a complete sentence. Why? Because I have what? I have an adverb, okay, which is after I have working verb, okay, and all the day adverb. I don't have subject and predicate and verb, and hence it is a phrase, not clause. Okay, so this is the difference between sentence, clause, and phrase. So sentence has a complete thought, grammatically and meaningfully. Okay, and within the sentence I have clauses. Okay, I have clauses or one clause. I have either a complete clause, for example, ecology is a science. Okay, I'm too tired. Okay, or too tired because I worked all day. So because I worked all day is a clause that's incomplete, and I'm too tired is a clause that's complete. And these two clauses within one sentence. Okay, within one sentence. Phrase phrase sometimes is within the predicate, at the end of predicate. Okay, and sometimes they are adverbs or or adjectives. Okay, adjectival phrase I mean, or noun phrase. Okay, so this is the difference between sentence clause and the phrase. Yeah. And now we will explain the difference between independent clause and dependent clause. Okay, any sentence has either a dependent clause or has either independent clause alone or independent and dependent clause, or two dependent and one independent. Okay, so what's meant by independent clause? Okay, independent clause has three names. Okay, it is either independent or main clause or superordinate. Okay, independent clause, main clause or superordinate. هذا ثلاثة يعني لها ثلاث اسماء. اوكي، ثلاث اسماء لها. شنو صفاتها؟ ميزاتها شنو؟ It contains a subject and a verb and expresses a complete thought. Okay, يعني it expresses a complete thought. It can stand alone as a sentence by itself. يعني I said it alone without attaching it into another clause. Okay? An independent clause is formed with the subject and verb and often a complement. Okay? So sometimes I said it can be said by two parts, subject and predicate. Okay? And sometimes it can be said by three parts, subject, predicate, and complement. For example, Elizabeth slept. Okay? When I said the sentence alone, okay, it has a complete thought. The speaker, is going to understand me. Elizabeth slept. I have subject and verb. Okay, so it contains subject and verb and expresses a complete thought. It can't stand alone as sentence by itself. Okay, it can't. I can't say it alone without attaching it to another sentence. Okay, to another clause. Yeah. It's formed with subject and verb and often complement. Elizabeth slept. Okay, early in her room. Okay, so subject and verb and often complement. So this is the complement. Okay, complement what? It is adverbial complement. Adverbial complement, which is what? Which is adverb of time, which is early, and adverb what of place. This complement contains two adverbs. Adverb of time, which is early, and adverb of place, which is room. Okay, so this is what's meant by independent clause. I can't say it alone. Okay, it can have what? It can have a subject and a predicate, and sometimes it can have subject, predicate, and a complement. Yeah. We will move to the second type, which is the dependent clause. Okay. يعني المعاكس مال independent. Independent clause يعني احنا مو قلنا independent إلها main يسمونها main or independent or superordinate. هاي dependent هم لها ثلاث اسماء. اما يسمونها dependent او secondary clause or subordinate clause. Okay, it has three names as well, or two. Okay, what are its main features or criteria or characteristics? Criteria معناتها characteristics. Okay, So it begins with a subordinator such as because, before, as, after, although, when, while, if, that, who, etc. Okay. And again clause body بهذني بهيجي subordinators. اوكي معناتها شنو؟ معناتها dependent. يعني شنو؟ اعتماديه. يعني ما نقولها بوحدها، من نقول هاي الجمله لازم اكو جمله بعدها او خلفها. اوكي او خلف يعني to be a complete thought in one sentence. For example, when I say because it was raining. Okay, this sentence what? Dependent. And I cannot say it alone. Why? Because it doesn't express. Okay, it doesn't complete. Um, it doesn't have a complete thought unless I attach it to another clause, which is independent. Okay, so independent cannot be said alone unless if I attach it to another independent clause. Okay, because it was raining all the day. Okay, we couldn't go out or we couldn't go for a walk. Okay, yeah. A dependent clause doesn't express a complete thought, namely it cannot stand or and be said alone. مثل ما قلت لكم ما نقدر نقولها بوحدها إذا ما أحطوا لها clause which is independent. So it is not a sentence by itself. مو مثل independent. Independent أقدر أقولها بوحدها وبالتالي تعتبر sentence. هاي مو sentence. It's a part of a sentence. Okay. Independent clause is also called a sentence fragment. Okay. هذا رابع اسم منها which is a sentence fragment. If I said it alone يعني if I say it alone because it was so raining it was raining. Okay, it will be an error يعني خطأ. يعني شنو مكوناتها؟ شلون اكونها؟ الفورم مالها structure شنو مالها؟ subordinator اللي هو because if that although when what who etc. Okay, and a verb and sometimes a complement as we've said in the independent clause. Okay, so although he's always helpful. Okay, this is what dependent clause. Why? Because I cannot say it alone. It cannot be said alone unless I attach it to independent clause. Okay, so although he's always alone, helpful, he's lazy. Yeah. So this is independent, and this is what? Dependent. And these clauses what? Are in one sentence. هسا شنو هاي كلها sentence. شنو أجزاها؟ أجزاها dependent و independent. اوكي؟ يعني مثلا جاي تكتبون بالمقالة ولقيت كاتب بس هيك. No, this is wrong. Okay? If I have subordinator, although because okay, it has to have another clause to be attached to it in order to what? To complete a full thought. If I say without although, just he's always helpful. Okay, this is a complete sentence and independent clause. Okay, but the subordinators makes it what? Dependent, and hence it needs another clause which is independent. Yeah, I was having dinner when John found. Okay, so when John found dependent. Why? شلون عرفت dependent؟ أولا it has a subordinator which is when. Okay, and if I say it alone when John found يعني من اتصل جون أقولها بوحدها. ما مستحيل أقدر أقولها بوحدها unless I attach it. أربطها بكلوز ثاني. I was having dinner when John found, or when John found I was having dinner. وبالتالي in this way it expresses a complete thought. Okay? Yeah. So this is the difference between the dependent clause and independent clause. I hope this helps you. So these are the subordinators. We have many subordinators in English. Okay, and here are some: after, before, that, when, which, although, since, as soon as, etc. Okay, so This is what what I prepared for the first lecture. Okay, I hope this helps you. And if you didn't understand it, if you have any question, just send it on Google Classroom, and I will answer soon. Good luck.